Hi everyone, it's Lulu. First of all, I am recording on a new camera and it has one of those viewfinders to the side, so forgive me if I keep looking to the side because I think that's one of the most annoying things a creator can do, but it's a new toy for me. The other thing is I can't quite, I'm far away, so I'm going to try to zoom in and I look like I'm sunburnt and I'm not. So we'll just figure this out, as everybody likes to say. The really exciting thing is I have my hands on the new Sephora Pro Pigment Palettes. Have seen a few things on Trend Mood's Instagram. Have not watched any videos yet. It's launching on July 14th, but Trend Mood mentioned that some stores are already selling it. And I'm in the Chicago area, and Woodfield Mall is a really huge mall, and the Sephora there is quite large, so I thought, let me give it a call. Called, and sure enough, they had them and they were available for sale. So like a mad woman, I rushed over there. I got both of them. In chatting with the makeup reps there, this might be Sephora's answer to Natasha Denona. I can't say this is their effort with Jaclyn Hill, because Sephora's on one level and Jaclyn Hill is on another, but I mean, you know what I mean. And I don't know that they would have known what her colors were, etc. But they come in a warm palette and a cool palette, and I have both. The packaging is gorgeous. It's not that it's gorgeous here. This is the cool palette, so you can see the silver. And then the warm palette has more of a coppery gold, but it's heavy. I mean, I'm talking like this feels, I think if I had a pound of butter, a pack of butter in one hand, and this, it would be about the same. So it feels very secure. It feels worth the money, which is $68 a palette. That is spendy for Sephora. We shall see what the quality is. I am not a makeup artist. I like everything, and I'm not sure that I'm qualified to talk to or speak to the quality of this. Hopefully I can, but really today is just about swatching, and I'm going to swatch with a brush, not my finger. I've not touched either of these yet, but let me go ahead and show this to you. It comes in a box, again, with the foil. And there's foil all the way around, and this is the warm palette. And it does come with a card with the names. And with the other one, what I did is I trimmed it a little bit, and I'm putting it in the mirror so that I have the names. I'm sorry, I'm looking off to the side, aren't I? And this is the warm palette. Or is it better if I zoom? Oh, play with me. Why don't you figure this out? There we go. So there's the warm palette. And then here is the cool palette. And I'll try to hold both of them up side by side. Won't that be a miracle? And I think I need to zoom out for the side. I'm just, oh, hi, hello. And here they are, side by side. Ha! This is warm, this is cool. The only thing I can say from what I'm seeing on the screen is they are more vivid in real life. And I don't know if when I download this it will be more accurate, but it does, they are more vivid. So I'm going to go ahead and try to begin the swatching. I don't know I hope I can figure this out. I've never swatched. I've never done a swatch video. So thanks for putting up with me, and I will be back. Okay, this is the cool palette. I'm using a regular e.l.f. contour brush, nothing fancy, no smoke and mirrors. And I will begin with the first row, and the first color is Linen, which is a matte, kicks up a lot of powder in the pan. and it's a matte with a yellow peachy undertone. It's coming across much brighter on camera than it is on, as I'm looking at it on my skin. It almost looks white on camera. This would be a great brow bone, or just a nice matte. Next color is Powder. Powder is a matte. It is not at all kicking up as much powder. Dust, I should say. Again, one that I can hardly see on my arm. I'm an NC30, NC35 in terms of MAC, and I can see that on the camera it's not showing up very well. It must have to do with lighting more so than the product. At least that's my humble opinion. Next color is Seashell, which looks like maybe a satin or a sheen. So this takes, I'm trying to give you an idea of blendability. So here's a second dip. Not too much kick up. It's definitely a satin. I wouldn't say it's a shimmer. I don't think. Could be an inner eye. Very nice. Maybe a little on the subtle side. Next color is Tulle, and this is definitely a shimmer. It's a yellowy, not quite gold. I can't see it from my perspective, and I think you can barely see it on camera. Second dip. Not kicking up too much. So this one is really hardly showing up on my skin tone. And that was Tulle. The next one is a very pale, almost apricot matte, and it's by the name Latte. This one has a lot of kick up in the pan. Nice, and I'm just going to keep blending it out. So highly blendable. I'm not pressing very hard with the brush. That definitely has, that could almost be a transition or crease shade for some skin tones. Next one is Flax, which again, depending on your skin tone, could be a crease shade, transition shade. And this one blends out beautifully. And not too much kick up in the pan. And the last one in the top row is called Violet Gray. This one goes on beautifully, not too chalky, blends beautifully, and it's a perfect name for it, Violet Gray. I think it looks blue on camera. It's definitely a violet gray, just a smoky light plum, violet, smoky violet. It's beautiful. So there's the top row. Second row, first one is called Ballet, and it's a very pale pink. Kick up is in the pan. Yeah. It definitely shows pink on the skin. It's showing very white. Oh my goodness, on camera. It's definitely very pink. I'm starting to wonder, what do people do to have these? Okay, next is Cashmere. Again, a lot of kick up in the pan. And this is an apricot-y color. Pale apricot. Looking very white on camera. This is a melon, a salmon, and this is called Tea Rose. Is this matte? It's matte, maybe a tiny bit of satin. Hard to see that one on my skin tone. I can see it. Third dip. Okay, next one is a shimmer. It's an orangey gold, and it's called Pink Champagne. I don't see pink in it. I see much more peach. And I see nothing on my skin. Okay, let's go in for a second dip. Let's really swirl the brush around. There we go. So this one takes, if you had a soft brush like a wine gauze, I don't know that it would pick anything up. You can hardly see it. It is showing up in person, but that one's going to take a lot of work to get to show up. The next one is simply called Rose, and it is a kind of a dusty pink with, I don't know, maybe a satin. Let's find out. It's definitely a sheen. Pretty color. Second dip of the brush. Very blendable. You're going to need a stiffer brush to pick up this pigment. All of them, I think. Next one is called Orchid Mist, and it does have a little, there's very little difference between this one and Rose, but maybe on the hand, oh, there's definitely more purple undertone. Again, pretty hard to see it. I'm going to really give it a good swirl. And then the last one is a matte, kind of a red, deep red, not quite maroon. And that one is called Crocus. So I'm noticing a lot of names after. Whoa, that one is showing up. And that's one dip of the brush. Not too much kick up in this one. And you can see, very blendable. I'm still going. So that's the second row. Sorry if the camera angle looks different. I knocked my camera down, so I'm hoping I set it up similarly. Anyway, we're on to the third row. First one is called Ash. This is a glimmery, shimmery, really deep, deep gold. What's that called? Old gold? Even older. An ashy gold. It, so far of all the shimmers, I would say this one's performing the best. That's the second dip of the brush. It's blending very nicely. Oops, sorry, I didn't know. Oh, it's not at all that dark in person. Not even close. Alright, I don't have $9,000 camera equipment. Sorry about that. Okay, the next one is Mushroom. This looks like very nice transition shade. You can see it's blending. All of them kick up powder in the pan. I mean, some of them not so much. There's just a few that were not too bad. So that's really nice. I'm going to go in for a second dip just because. But again, blends beautifully. And I'm, very nice. Okay, next one in the third row is called Fog. Good name. It's kind of a greenish gray. A lot of kick up in the pan. Blends beautifully, not too chalky at all. Very nice. And you can see I'm going and going. So there's Fog. It looks blue in the lens. It's not. It's definitely, it's like a sage green depending on what angle. It's a grayish green or greenish gray. But there's, in camera it looks very blue. I can't see blue at all in it. The next one after Fog is Graphite, and it does look like a brownish gray. Wow. So this one is highly pigmented. I'm going and going from one dip. And this is a brownish gray. As a matter of fact, I would say this is a perfect brownish gray. It's called Graphite, which you would think would be a blackish gray, but it's definitely a brownish gray. Next, speaking of gray, is a heather gray. I don't see gray in this next one at all, but we shall see. It just looks like a heather color, a purpley, or I should say violet, lavender, smoky. Again, wow, this one's very pigmented, going on beautifully in the pan, kicking up a ton of dust. But you can see it blends and blends and blends. Next color is a bright pink. Oh my goodness, like a bright red, a reddish pink, pinkish red. Do you love this? And it's called Mauve. I don't think of mauve when I see this color. This is a very deep, rich, deep purpley pink, pinky purple. It's coming up pretty accurate on the camera. And then the last one of this row is another red one, reddish, and this one is simply called Orchid. When I hear Orchid, I think purple. This is definitely red. Deeper than this one's kicking up. I don't know if you can even see it on the counter. Maybe not. This one has a lot of kick up. I mean, I'm talking like I have puddles of dust on either side of my hand on the counter. When I'm all done with the colors, I'm going to show you the pan so you can see, hopefully you can see what the kick up is. So that one is Orchid. A lot of kick up. Beautiful color. I think many of you will love these reddish colors. Who love these will love the color, but wow, a lot of fallout. I would say definitely tap the brush really good on that one. I can see my skin getting redder and redder from having to clean it off. Okay, last row. Moon. It looks like a beautiful, shimmery, taupey gray in the pan. Moon. I love the name too. It's a little patchy. Maybe it's meant to be a topper. The sparkle is not evenly distributed. We're going to go in for a second dip. It's not at all this dark in person. You can barely see it. I mean, if it weren't for the sparkle. So that's Moon. Next one is called Rosewood. Oops, sorry about that. Next one is Rosewood, which is a mauvey, a deep mauve shimmer, maybe a sheen. Having a hard time picking this one up. Go in again. And this is a relatively, you know, e.l.f. Contour is a relatively stiff brush. So it should be picking up plenty. So when it doesn't, this is a third dip now. So that is, what would I say was Rosewood. Next one is Coffee. It's an ash brown matte. These are, again, okay, so this one blends beautifully. Definitely want to tap your brush off on all of these. The kick up is incredible. And I wouldn't say that they're not certainly powdery looking on the arm at all. But, and you can see they blend and blend. Some of them, not all of them. I have to say, so far, I don't think I'm impressed, but again, I'm not a makeup artist. Kick up drives me crazy. I know for some it doesn't. Okay, this next one is called Hot Chocolate. It's deep. It's a very deep. I wish you could see how much was coming off of my brush onto the counter. So very blendable. This one is probably the most pigmented of all. Wow. So, soft brush would be needed there. Next one is Espresso. I'm going to go in lightly. Light. Ooh, even with a light. Oh my gosh. Like I could almost make mud pie on the counter. That's how much is coming off. Disappointing. I mean, I suppose if you like a lot of pigment and you're okay, but the fallout. Ooh. Okay. Sketch. Interesting. Sketch is a shimmery gray, charcoal gray. Not too much kick up with this one. Nicely, this is a sheen. More of a sheen, I would say. Not quite sparkly. More than a satin. Maybe a pearl, is that a way to describe it? I don't see that much blue in it on the camera. Again, these grays are looking blue. And then the last one is Obsidian, which is a matte. It's a black with, it's not a black, it's pretty black. I would say it's black with a very slight green undertone, maybe. And that was one dip of the brush. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can maneuver the camera. So that was pouring off of my hand. And then I want to show you the actual palette. And I think that's a lot of dust being kicked up. Powder being kicked up, however you want to put it. So we'll see how the warm is tomorrow. Maybe I'll be better at this swatching. And I want to thank you for putting up with this and my new camera. Probably the wrong day to try a new camera. I have to say I'm giving this maybe a B-, maybe even a C. Bye. Well, I'm holding this in my hand, so I'm sorry if it's shaking. I think I said at the end of the swatching, I wasn't that impressed. I'm sad because I really went out of my, not that I went out of my way, but I really wanted this. I was really looking forward to it. Looking at the palette, the colors are beautiful. Kicked up a lot of dust. Maybe it was the brush I was using, but I wanted to give it a fair shot. I think afterwards I played a little bit with, before I started shooting this part of the video, I used my Wayne Goss, and that's almost like too soft a brush to use on them. Really messy. You know, we all have our things, our pet peeves. Mine is when a palette is messy. Now, I put up with Lorac, but that's about the only one, the Lorac Pro 1. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'll do the warms tomorrow, and hopefully I will somehow be better at this swatching thing. If I have new viewers because of, you know, they were searching for this, I am so sorry. I'm not normally, well, maybe I am, but new camera, first swatch video, probably not a smart combination. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't look off to the side too much. Have to get used to this viewing screen. And but I'm looking at it. It's a beautiful palette. The warm is also a beautiful palette. So we'll see. I would imagine they're going to kick up just as much dust. We will see you tomorrow, and maybe I'll use a couple of different brushes tomorrow, just in the same color. You know, maybe one with an e.l.f. brush, one with a Wayne Goss brush, and one with, I don't know, a Morphe or a Smashbox or something. Thanks again for visiting. Thanks for giving me some of your day, and we will see you, well, tomorrow when I do the warm ones. Bye.